2014 season. As you can see, Mr. Mooney is not here, and this is our guest conductor, Miss Linda Hook. Just a little reminder, the Stompers are selling water and snacks. Popcorn is $1, water is $1. Chocolate-covered Oreos are 2 for $1, pralines are 2 for $1, and part of the proceeds will go to the local food pantry. Our first piece will be Distant Hills Overture by composer Robert M. Dillon. Robert Dillon was born in 1922 in Downs, Kansas. He composed contemporary pieces and was a music educator. He received his doctorate in music education from the University of Oklahoma. His 270-page graduate school dissertation was published in 1971 under the title, 5 Original Teaching Pieces in Contemporary Styles for Brass Instruments. Distant Hills Overture was published much earlier in 1955. Most of his work is no longer printed, such as Song for 4 B-flat clarinets. Please enjoy this piece, Distant Hills Overture. next, we have an upbeat, fast-moving piece, Swingaroo Polka, composed by Van Auken and Zan Morris. The polka is a Central European dance and also a genre of dance music familiar throughout Europe and the Americas. It originated in the middle of the 19th century in Bohemia. The actual dance and accompanying music, called polka, are generally attributed to a young woman, Anna Sliskova of Labska Tenis, Bohemia, and is said to have come this is really tough, and is said to have called the dance Madeira because of its liveliness. By 1835, this dance had spread to the ballrooms of Prague. From there, it spread to Vienna by 1839, and in 1840 was introduced in Paris by Raab, a Prague dance instructor. It was so well received by both dancers and dance masters in Paris that its popularity was referred to as polkamania. The dance soon spread to London and was introduced into America in 1844, soon eclipsing the popularity of the waltz. It remained a popular ballroom dance until the late 19th century, when it would give way to the two-step and new ragtime dances. Polka dancing enjoyed resurgence in popularity after World War II, when many Polish refugees moved to the U.S., adopting this bohemian style as a cultural dance. Polka dances are still held on a weekly basis across many parts of the U.S., with significant populations of Central European origin. Please enjoy this trend-setting song, Swingaroo Polka. Our next piece, On the Trail, is the third movement of the Grand Canyon Suite by Ferg Grove. The Grand Canyon Suite was composed during the period from 1929 to 1931. It consists of 5 parts or movements, each an evocation in tune of particular scene typical of the Grand Canyon. On the Trail was used for many years as the musical signature for radio and later television programs sponsored by Philip Morris Cigarettes, beginning with their 1933 radio program featuring Ferg Grove and his orchestra. Frankie Lane recorded On the Trail on his Call of the Wild album with an orchestra conducted by John Williams. On the Trail was also featured in the 1983 film A Christmas Story. On the Trail depicts a trip to the bottom of the canyon by a donkey and begins with a loud hee-haw braying sound. The braying theme evolves into a lurching melody depicting a donkey ride. This theme soon becomes the accompaniment for the main musical idea. A music box at the hostel at the bottom of the trail is heard. The donkey recognizes that there's food ahead and gallops to the end. This piece ends with a final outburst from the donkey. Close your eyes and picture the serene beauty of the Grand Canyon as you listen to On the Trail. Up next, we have the bright and moving Looney Tunes Overture, arranged by Bill Holcomb. Looney Tunes is a Warner Brothers animated cartoon series. It preceded Merry Melodies series and was Warner Brothers' first animated theatrical series. Since its first official release, 1930's Sinking in the Bathtub, the series has become a worldwide media franchise, spawning several television series, films, comics, music albums, video games, and amusement park rides. The series features some of the most well-known and popular cartoon characters in history, including Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tweety Bird, and Porky Pig. From 1942 until 1969, Looney Tunes was the most popular short cartoon series in theaters, exceeding Disney and other popular competitors. Looney Tunes was ranked number 3 on IGN's Top 100 Animated Series. By 1937, the theme music for Looney Tunes was The Merry-Go-Round Broke Down by Cliff Friend and Dave Franklin. Allow yourself to be transported back to your childhood Saturday mornings with this piece, Looney Tunes Overture. Jesus Christ Superstar is a rock opera by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice. The musical is a dramatization of the last week of Christ's life from the viewpoint of Judas, beginning with his entry into Jerusalem and ending with the crucifixion. When Jesus Christ Superstar became popular, there was an American hit theater piece called Hair, which utilized elements of rock music but wasn't as unified as a work from Webber or Rice's creation. It was less built on rock music than on pop music that referred to rock. Webber and Rice's work presented a far sharper, bolder musical edge and pushed it farther and harder than Hair ever did. Serving as their own producers, the two got together more than 60 top-flight singers and musicians, including Chris Spedding, John Gustafson, Mike Vickers, P.P. Arnold, and members of Joe Cocker's Grease Band, not to mention Murray Head, Ian Gillan, Yvonne Elliman, and managed to pull the whole production together into a more than coherent whole that contained a pair of hit singles. The album reached #1 on the Billboard chart in 1971 and served as a launching pad for numerous stage productions on Broadway and the European West End. Please enjoy music from Jesus Christ Superstar. will hear the theme from The Godfather, as arranged by Robert Longfield. The theme was written for the 1972 film, The Godfather. A few interesting facts about the Godfather trilogy. First, the word mafia is never mentioned once in the entire trilogy. Secondly, the scene in The Godfather where Peter Clemenza makes spaghetti sauce was added in case the movie was a flop. Director Francis Ford Coppola said that in case the movie flopped, he at least wanted people to know how to make spaghetti. The final bit of trivia I have for you is a bit of a spoiler. The presence of the color orange, or of actual oranges, in a scene signifies the upcoming death or assassination attempt. So be sure to look for oranges next time you're watching this classic movie. I hope you enjoyed this arrangement of Speak Softly, Love, the theme from Godfather. Up next, we have a favorite among the adults and children alike. The Pink Panther is an instrumental composition by Henry Mancini, written as the theme for the 1963 film The Pink Panther, and subsequently nominated for the 1964 Academy Award for Original Music Score. The cartoon character created for the opening credits of the movie by David DePatie and Friz Freleng was animated in time to the tune. RCA Records released the tune as a single in 1964. It reached the top 10 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart and won 20 Grammy Awards, and was later awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1995. The Pink Panther theme and Moon River are two of Mancini's best-known pieces. Please enjoy The Pink Panther. Up next, we have another contemporary piece that I'm sure you've heard. I Left My Heart in San Francisco is a popular song written in 1954 by George Corey and Douglas Cross, and best known as the signature song of Tony Bennett. It peaked at number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100. The music was written by Corey with lyrics by Cross, nostalgic for San Francisco after moving to New York. The song found its way to Tony Bennett through Ralph Sharon, Bennett's longtime accompanist and friend with the composers. Bennett first recorded the song at CBS Studios in 1962. CBS released it as the B-side of Once Upon a Time. The A-side received no attention, and DJs began flipping the record over and playing I Left My Heart in San Francisco. It became a hit on the pop singles chart in 1962 and spent close to a year on various other charts, achieving gold record status. It won a Grammy Award for Record of the Year, as well as for Best Male Solo Vocal Performance. In 2001, it was ranked 23rd on the RIAA NEA list of most historically significant songs of the 20th century. Please enjoy I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Pennsylvania 65000 is the phone number of the Pennsylvania Hotel in New York City. Before area codes, the first two numbers were called the exchange code and were represented by a word whose first two letters were used as the numbers. Thus, Pennsylvania represents the PE exchange code. The number today, complete with the area code, is 212-736-5000. Bill Finnegan and Jerry Gray wrote the music for this song, with Carl Sigmund adding the lyrics. In the Carl Sigmund songbook, Sigmund's son Michael writes, "In 1940, Carl came up with Pennsylvania 65000, crashing in on the popularity of Café Rouge, a hot nightclub situated in New York City's Hotel, Pennsylvania, frequented by swing-era icons like Goodman, the Dorsey Brothers, Artie Shaw, and Glenn Miller. The Glenn Miller recording became a smash hit, reaching the top 5 on the pop charts. 65 years later, Pennsylvania 65000 is still a worldwide standard, covered by artists from Brian Setzer to Heptet and used in movies, from the Glenn Miller Story to Oliver Stone's football flick, Any Given Sunday. If you call Pennsylvania 65000 today, you'll still get the main switchboard of that legendary hotel across the street from Pennsylvania Station. Please enjoy Pennsylvania 65000. Up next, we have a fun little piece that will definitely take you back to your childhood, or at least to a few months ago with a recent film. The Muppets were created in 1955 by Jim Henson, which means that next year they'll be 60 years old. Henson coined the term Muppet, but he claims it is not a combination of the words marionette and puppet, which is essentially what they are. Jim Henson was originally offered the role of Yoda for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, but he declined and suggested a fellow puppeteer and actor, Frank Oz. A few more facts about the Muppets you probably didn't know. Kermit was originally a lizard. but was changed into a frog right before Sesame Street was created. Henson actually voiced Kermit the Frog until he died in 1990. Henson reportedly based his early Muppet designs on drawings in Pogo, a comic strip by Walt Kelly. The first Kermit was made from Henson's mother's old coat, and 2 halves of a ping pong ball were used for his eyes. Puppeteers take up to a year to develop their Muppets' personality traits and voice, and will often be test-driven by other puppeteers to find the perfect human Muppet match. Henson died the weekend he was reportedly going to sell the Muppets and his entire company to Disney for approximately $150 million. Disney did not actually get the rights to the Muppets until 2004. In 2006, Kermit the Frog published his self-help autobiography, Before You Leap, A Frog's Eye View of Life's Great Lessons. The piece you will now hear is a compilation of several tunes you know and love from the Muppets. Moving right along, I Hope That Something Better Comes Along, and The Rainbow Connection. Please enjoy the Muppet Movie Medley. next, we have an English folk song style suite called Three Iris from Gloucester by Howe Stewart. The suite contains three movements: The Jolly Earl of Cholmondeley, Air for Eventide, and Fiefs of Webley. This piece came into being as a result of the composer's fascination with an old 10th century couplet, "There's no one quite so comely as the Jolly Earl of Cholmondeley." The resulting three compositions are designed to capture the mood of the peasants and their life on the fiefs of the Wembley Castle. Howe Stewart received his music training from Oberlin Conservatory of Music, Columbia Teachers College, Rutgers University, Newark State College, and the University of Michigan. He taught instrumental music in Maryland and New Jersey for 33 years and wrote more than 100 published compositions, arrangements, method books, band and orchestral collections, solos, and ensembles in the educational field. He also appeared as a clinician in 45 states. Please enjoy Three Airs from Gloucester. final piece tonight is The Invincible Eagle by John Philip Sousa. Sousa wrote this march for his band's performance at the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York in 1901. He considered naming it The Spirit of Niagara in recognition of the exposition, but decided not to localize it because he thought his new march might eventually rival the Stars and Stripes Forever. Soon after its premiere, Sousa described the conviction and spirit which compelled him to compose this march, noting, "It is what I call one of my sunshine marches. Some of my heavy marches are intended to convey the impression of the stir and strife of warfare, but the Invincible Eagle shows the military spirit at its lightest and brightest, the parade spirit, with the bravery of uniform, the sheen of silken stands, and the gleam of polished steel." Please enjoy this march, The Invincible Eagle. As we conclude our fourth concert, I'd like to give a special thanks to our guest conductor, Linda Hook, for doing a wonderful job this evening. Thank you for coming out to support and join the Municipal Band. I truly hope you liked tonight's performance, especially since it's a little drier. I'd also like to thank Channel 798 for recording tonight's performance, and Jim Dunsey for running our sound system. Also, a big thank you to Valley Schools for letting us use this facility. Please join us next Thursday for our 5th concert of the season. Thank you all again for joining us this evening, and have a wonderful evening.
Channel 7 and 98 TV and web broadcasting are made possible through contributions and donations from viewers like you. Thank you for your support.